I feel like something's missing between December and January. I've been thinking about this all day and I know what it is. And in this video, I want to unpack something that's going to help you make changes for January that might help you along your whole New Year's resolution route, if that's what you choose to do. And I want to have a conversation about why we push ourselves to have some big, massive goal in January without doing this one thing first. And if you stay through the video, I'm going to give you 2 self-coaching questions, 2 simple questions to ask yourself before you set a goal for January 2024. So I'm picking the word reflect as my intention for January. I am not jumping into big business goals, big personal goals, but one of the things I learned as a health professional is that to make new goals, we need to reflect. We need to look back on the things that worked and the things that didn't. My name is Tanya, if you haven't met me, and I like to have conversations about all things self-improvement, aging, menopause, health tips. It's a bit of a mishmash here, but I think midlife is a mishmash and so many questions come up as we age. So if you are feeling these thoughts too, hang out with me here, subscribe to the channel. And if this video is not for you today, check out some of my other playlists. I am accumulating more health content here and we can talk somewhere else. So as I'm driving around today, you're watching this as I filmed it on December 24th, I was thinking about what's missing. What's missing between December and January? And I hope the audio is okay because I don't have an external mic here. But something is missing because we come through this push of December, getting work done before we have a holiday. If you celebrate, maybe you don't celebrate. What are we doing as far as family and gifts? And what are we making for dinner? And all of this, like, who am I seeing in the holiday season? There's lots of joy and cheer, but come on, can we be honest? There's a lot that goes to it. There's expense and there's work and then there's like emotions. And so we come out of December and then we have another push in January. Like, do you have a New Year's resolution? What is it you're working on this year? And I'm all for self-improvement. I love a good fresh start. That's actually a thing. It's called the fresh start effect. It is what's called setting a temporal landmark. So like Monday, starting the new work week, you can feel fresh. Or spring, a renewal. January is another fresh start. It's a temporal landmark where you might want to renew your goals, try and reach things you didn't do last year, or set your sights on something new. But a lot of goal setting can actually feel a bit defeating if you start to think about the things that you didn't do last year and you feel like a little bit of a failure. Maybe you feel like you missed the mark. So here's 2 questions I want you to ask yourself before you wake up on January 1st and pledge your commitment to go to the gym for 2 hours a day. Because I don't think we build on our strengths enough when we move towards the new year. I think a lot of us build our goals on what we feel we failed at. So here's my first question, my first self-coaching question that you can ask yourself before you wake up and make a goal on January 1st. What went well last year? Can you ask yourself, what went well last year? I don't care if it's one thing. There has to be, I hope, one thing that went well for you. Did you set your sights on getting out and walking? And did you go almost 3 days a week last year? That went well for you. What else went well? Because when you start to identify what went well, you are making a list of things that maybe are your strengths, that maybe you are good at, and you can really build on that for the year to come. Sometimes I think we dwell on the things that didn't. So this is why I'm inviting you to ask yourself, what went well last year? Go get a piece of paper, write it all down, or save this video for later, write it down. So once you have those in place, the next thing I want you to ask yourself, what could be even better yet? So instead of looking for something that you feel you might need to change about yourself, what if you looked at what went well? What went well last year for you? How can you make that thing even better? Is there a way it can be even better yet? Or is there something else that can be even better yet? I love this because it is so positive and it builds on those good feelings you may have had on an accomplishment of 2023. Now, hold on. If you are looking at me and you're saying, oh my God, but I didn't really accomplish anything, like, what is this? You know, I get it. I think that, and this is going to be a whole other video, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to like find our purpose at this age, and that goals also have to be super big, or things that we desire should be meaningful and super big. But all it has to do is be meaningful to you. So whatever went well for you, if it was meaningful for you, write it down. And I don't care if you knit a sweater, if you made your own bread, if you sewed drapes, if you volunteered at church and you felt good and that went well, that belongs on the list. Because when we pull out these things that really felt good, that really went well, you can start to ask yourself why. Why did that go well? Why did I enjoy volunteering at the hospice every week? Why did I feel so good canning my own tomatoes or knitting that sweater or sewing those drapes? I think these are some of the things that can build more meaningful connection to ourselves rather than, and I'm not against the goal to eat better or to get fitter or whatever, whatever your goal is for 2024. I'm not against any of those goals. I just sometimes think we don't go inside. We look too much on the outside. We don't go inside to build this feeling of connection to our own self. And so for me to do that this year, I'm going to reflect on what went well and what I'm going to make even better yet. And yes, some of it might be business, but I think a lot of it is going to be personal. And I want to try an intention word every month. I really do. I started last September with my intention, and because I'm only human, things happened. I didn't follow through. And a lot of us don't follow through on our goals. So if you follow through on something, that could be a what went well. And if you didn't, don't bust your own butt about it. Don't bust your own ass about it. It's okay. It's actually human nature to start something and then sort of fall out of the loop. It really is. There's nothing wrong with you if you started eating healthier and then you fell back into old patterns. Half the battle of change is actually becoming aware of your own habits and your own patterns and behavior. And when you start to become that student of you like that, things will really open up. And if you have a goal, I would love it if you shared it with me in the comments below. I'm cheering you on. I just wanted to think about how we approach the beginning of the new year. And if my camera's shaking, I'm so sorry because my hand is getting tired. I just wanted to think about how we approach the new year, having a fresh start, just with a little different thought pattern, and see if these 2 self-coaching questions would help you. Let me know what you think, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video.